We as a community are facing a huge obesity problem. This chart shows the economic cost of obesity in the U.S. Let's change this, beginning with our own community. Sugary drinks contribute greatly to obesity as well as diabetes, which are both growing concerns for our community. According to the chair of the BMA Board of Science, Professor Sheila Hollins, doctors are increasingly concerned about the impact of poor diet, which is responsible for up to 70,000 deaths per year and has the greatest impact on the NHS budget. A significant cause for so much sugary drink consumption is affordability. Sodas are generally cheaper than healthier alternatives, and they are often on sale. Because of this, community stores in disadvantaged areas can't afford to stock healthier options because their consumers can't afford to purchase them. Obesity rates are higher in disadvantaged areas due to food deserts. These communities usually have a convenience store and no real grocery store nearby, so they don't have healthier alternatives at all. The best way to reduce the consumption of sugary drinks within our community is by charging an excise tax on sugary drinks, providing community education regarding the effects of drinking sugary drinks and why taxing them is a good decision, and implementing a campaign which will push for sugary drink production companies to produce affordable, healthy alternatives. Senator Lewis is 100% correct when he says that politically nothing is easy. Senator Lewis also recognizes that passing and sustaining this legislation will be a challenge because it's an unfamiliar idea, and we will face opposition from producers and consumers. We have to consider that we don't want to be a nanny state or be accused of attempting to control decisions that consumers make regarding what they decide to eat and drink on a daily basis. An alternative to excise tax on sugary drinks is doing nothing so that we don't appear as a nanny state. If we do this, nothing will change. Another alternative is simply using education to attempt to reduce consumption of sugary drinks in our community. Education on its own would struggle to bring about that change with no incentives or available and affordable alternatives on the market. Before passing the bill, we need to implement complex and effective community education programs. We need to educate the public on the harms of drinking sugary drinks and their connections to health issues like obesity and diabetes. We need to emphasize that sugary drink consumption often begins in childhood and during adolescence. We need to share pediatric and adolescent obesity rates. We need to educate the public on why the decision to tax sugary drinks is not intended to be a control mechanism, but rather meant to protect our community. It's important that we get the community involved and excited for the change. This will take a lot of planning, events, and skilled marketing. Senator Lewis says a sugary drink excise tax would be most appealing in terms of reducing sugary drink purchasing and consumption based on prior studies and would generate income for the Commonwealth. Based on previous research and other programs that place taxes on harmful substances, he is correct. Passing this bill should be our midterm goal. Once we have educated our community and implemented an excise tax on sugary drinks, we will carefully continue research and monitoring of the results and changes in sugary drink purchases and consumptions. We will also monitor changes in obesity and diabetes rates as we go on. The long-term goal for our program will be to put pressure on big sugary drink production companies so that they will produce affordable, healthy alternatives. If we, along with the public, can convince big manufacturers to do this, we can change the fact that disadvantaged areas only have sugary drink options because that's what their community stores can afford to sell.